Okay, Randall Postaglione. This is, this is the third video I made today. Okay, it's for Joliet Montessori. Once again, it is the last day of April 2020, and we are sheltering in place because of the epidemic, the pandemic, I should say, coronavirus, COVID-19. Sorry. Okay, we're talking about graphing quadratic equations. I'm assigning a sheet here. It's called Graphing Quadratic Functions. Okay, it's 2 pages. They give you the answers. Okay, I'm telling you that already, but that's not going to do you any good because you have to show me the work. Excuse me, and there's a number of things that I want you to answer before you graph it. I'm going to number 2. Number 2 is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. I think you'll get it. This is video 17. Okay. All right. Number 2 is y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now remember, the y could be f of x. In this case, we want to make it 0, right? Because we want to find the x-intercepts. So I'm just going to change it to 0. What the heck? Okay? All right. Now, something I didn't mention earlier, okay? When you have a quadratic equation, you know how we have y equals mx plus b? Y equals mx plus b. When it's like this, that plus 8 is the b. The plus 8 is your y-intercept. Now, sometimes it'll help you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll just be off the chart, okay? But good to know, right? Okay, so try to remember that. The 8 in this case, is where the curve crosses the y-axis. It's actually 0, 8, right? That would be the geometric form of the y-intercept. All right, we'll get back to that. Notice I don't have graph paper here yet. I'm going to get that in a minute. But I want to show you how to approach this. The first thing I want to look at is, okay, the lead coefficient is positive, so I know I'm going to have a smiley face. Positive, get it? I'm going to have a smiley face. It's going to be like this. And I know that I'm going to have a minimum. Okay? Okay, now, I know I'm going to have a minimum. I know I'm going to have a parabola because it's a quadratic equation. I know it's going to cross the y-axis at 0, 8. Okay. The next thing I want to know is, hey, where is this vertex? Where is this point right here? If I know where that point is, gosh, I know a lot of stuff. I know the line of symmetry. Okay. Now, where do we get that? Well, I'm thinking of my quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Remember, negative b over 2a, that part of it is going to give me, okay, the x-coordinate of the vertex. Let's see what it is. Negative b, well, b is negative 6. So I'm going to have a negative 6 over 2 was my a, 1. So this is plus 6 over 2, or 3. 3 is going to be the x-coordinate of my vertex. Now I want to know what the y-coordinate is. I take that 3 and put it back into the original. 3 squared minus 6, 3 plus 8. Okay, I've got 9 minus 18 plus 8. All right. So this is going to give me negative 9 plus 8, looks like negative 1. Okay? So my y is going to be negative 1. Okay, the y coordinate. So I know where my vertex is. Okay, I also know that a line going through here is x equals 3. Because going down that dotted line, x is always going to be 3, no matter what y is. Okay, so x equals 3 is the signature, is the equation for that line of symmetry. Okay, let's see, what else? So if I were making, let me find some room here. If I were making a table, x, y, I could say, all right, when x is 0, y is 8. Well, get this, when x is 3, okay, when x is 3, y is, oh, I'm sorry, wait. When x is 3, y is negative 1. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be below the, this is going to be below the x-axis. Okay. Let's see. What if x were 1? If x were 1, I've got 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 8. That's 1 plus 8 is 9 minus 6. Oh, it looks like 3. That's what kind of threw me. I'm looking at my notes and I see, oh, when x is 1, y is 3. See, I thought I confused those. Okay, now I'm going to pause the camera, okay? I'm going to pause the tape, and I'm going to bring a piece of graph paper here, okay? All right. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I just taped a piece of graph paper to my board here. There's one thing that we didn't do yet. I want to use that b squared minus 4ac. I want to use the discriminant. A is 1, b is negative 6, c is 8. A squared plus b squared equals, I'm sorry, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay. All right. B squared minus 4ac. B is negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8. This is 36. And this is, looks like, minus 32. Oh, look. 36 minus 32 is 4. Is 4 a perfect square? Yes. Yes. So this tells me, using the discriminant, okay, that I can factor this. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to try to factor it now. I got x here, I got x here, 2 and 4, I'm trying that. Let's see, if this is a negative and a negative, it's going to give me a positive 8, that's what I want. And let's see, negative 2x and a negative 4x gives me negative 6x, boom, that's good. So it's factored correctly, x minus 2 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, x is 2, x is 4. Okay? So, at 2 and 4, it looks like I'm going to have x-intercepts. My vertex is 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1 looks to be right here. Okay? Now my x-intercepts are at 2 and 4. That's here, that's here. Okay? And, you know, I did say earlier that when x was, I said when x was 1, y was 3. So that's another point. Oh, by the way, the 0, 8, it's off the chart. So it's really not going to help me, that y-intercept. But look at this 1 and 3. 1 and 3 goes right here. All right. Now, this is the vertex, the line of symmetry. Let's see if I can draw this well. There's my line of symmetry. Check this out. I know that these points are a mirror image. Notice I got 2 here and 4 over here. 3 goes right down the middle. Over here, I've got when x is 1, y is 3. Well, I go over 2 to get to that 1. If I go over 2 this way, I get to 5. And 5, 3 is going to put me, it looks like it's right here. Okay? So all of a sudden now I got 5 points. That's great. I can draw my smiley face. Okay? Sorry about that. All right, you get it? So, that was number 2. I'd like you to tell me if it's a minimum or maximum. This obviously is a minimum because it's a smiley face. I want you to tell me that. I want you to tell me what the vertex is. That's down here. I want you to tell me what the line of symmetry is. Here it would be x equals 3, right? Then I want you to use the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, to find out if you could factor it. Then factor it, okay? Now, if you can't factor it, you're going to have to use what? You're going to have to use the quadratic formula, all right? It's a little more work, but hey, you can do it. We did a whole sheet on that. And then I'd like you to find, 3, 4, or 5 points to draw your parabola. Okay, give me a little table. Let's see, x is 3, y is negative 1. Okay, when x is 5, y is 3. Okay, here you've got when x is 2, y is 0. When x is 4, y is 0. So you can put a bunch of points on in a table there. Okay, this is some work. I really want you to jump on this. I really want you to discover things here. All right. For some of you, it'll be easy. Okay. For some of you, it'd be more of a challenge. That's great. The next few videos, we'll talk more about these. We'll go over these that you couldn't do, and we might even get into imaginary numbers next week. Okay? All right. Hope all is well. Stay inside, or if you go outside, wear a mask. Be safe. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon in person.